Yo, what's up, Shark family? Yes, I'm back with another YouTube video. Today is Thursday. It's going on 5:10. I just got off work, but this topic right here, I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about it. Now, I wasn't gonna give y'all a car talk this week because I just did one like 2 to 3 weeks ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all another one, because I feel like us being young and growing up, we still experiencing a lot of stuff, and sometimes we feel like we missing out on a lot of things because we not in a certain position right now. Because we'll get on Facebook and Instagram and see all our childhood friends going off to college and getting degrees and starting families and traveling the world, meeting all types of people, trying all different types of foods and stuff. And we second guess ourselves like, damn, how come we not here doing this or here doing that? How come we not traveling the world? How come we not starting families right now? And I'm gonna just tell you, just because you're not in a certain position right now does not mean you're not gonna get there. The people that we glorify today, we didn't hear about their life story until they was 40 or 50 years old. So just because you 19 or you 24 and you still trying to figure out your life does not mean you're not gonna get to that point in your life where you could travel, you could do this, you could do that, because FOMO is a real thing. Fear of missing out. You're not missing out. I promise you, you're not. Just because you're not where you need to be does not mean you're never gonna get there, And I know it, and I know sometimes we think like, damn, how come we not traveling? How come we not doing nothing exciting with our life, And truth is, you're not ready for that yet, you're not ready for that. And it's okay to not be ready because you got to get molded. You really got to grow into that person that you need to be to really receive these blessings, Just because you're not where you need to be, just because you're not traveling, just because you're not starting a family or you're not in a relationship does not mean you're not gonna have it, And it's so crazy because I think about this all the time, like just a person that's, still trying to figure out life and still trying to figure out what I got going on. Sometimes I be thinking I'm missing out, but whole time I'm just building myself for everything that's yet to come, Don't get depressed because you feel like your life ain't going nowhere. It's okay. It's a part of the motion. It's a part of growing, We gonna have them days where we feel like ain't nothing gonna work. We never gonna become who we need to be. It's okay, Never take it to heart. Everything that you think is not real, And I say that avidly because we could think something right now that's not true at all, and we'll take that thought and run across the world with it, But just keep grinding and keep going because eventually you'll get there, And think about it like this. It's somebody that's growing up right now, probably watching you go to school, go to work, make videos, whatever the case may be, And if it wasn't for them watching you, they would never be that person that they needed to be because they watching you go through all the motions and they watching you grow and they watching you work to become that person that you need to be. And that's going to make them want to work harder. That's going to make them want to really put that mindset to use and really grow, and really become that person that they need to be. So just because you're not where you need to be at in your life or you feel like you're never going to get there, just remember, it's always somebody watching you. It's always somebody looking at you. Even though you feel like ain't nobody paying attention to whatever that you're doing, it's always going to be somebody that's looking up to you. Whether that's you doing content or you on the basketball court, on the football field, it's always going to be somebody watching you. Always, So just because you not doing all this other stuff that you dreamed of doing right now does not mean you're not going to get there. You're going to get there. I promise you. I believe in yourself. I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself also, because if you feel like you never going to have nothing, that's going to be your reality. Your perception is your reality. So if you think you're not going to have nothing, that's what the outcome is going to be. Just because it's taking you a little bit longer to really hit your goals does not mean you are late. Some people spend their whole 20s building a solid foundation for their life so they could really have a solid foundation to stand on when it's time for them to really start doing everything that they want to do, whether it's travel, start families, etc. But that fear of missing out, that could be your downfall if you allow it to take over. Like I said earlier, everything that you think is not real, if you feel like you missing out, that's gonna always be your downfall. But me, I think about it as, it's not my time yet, and that's okay. But I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep proving to myself that I'm ready for all these blessings that's coming. You gotta mold yourself. You gotta discipline yourself. You really gotta build yourself. So don't never take it to heart when you see your friends or people that you done grew up with go off and start families and get degrees and travel, do X, Y, and Z, because your time is coming. But you got to believe that on your own. You can't allow all your negative thoughts overpower your positive thoughts, because at the end of the day, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days, but at the end of the day, you still got to show up and go to work, whether if you like it or not. That's just like a job. It be some days where I don't feel like going to work, but I gotta go. That's how you gotta think about it. If I really want to live a certain way and do what I want to do, you gotta go do the stuff that you don't want to do, because the stuff that you don't want to do is gonna allow you to appreciate the stuff that you want to do a little bit more. That's how you gotta look at it. But you're not late on none of your goals, because goals will be achieved when it's time. Everything will fall into place when it's time. But don't quit on yourself. It's a lot of people that's banking on you quitting. So why would you quit and prove everybody right that knew that you was gonna quit? Just keep going, because it's gonna hurt either way. It's gonna hurt if you quit, and it's gonna hurt if you keep going. But if you keep going, you bound to hit another goal. You bound to hit something. You bound to keep going and finally get to that lifestyle that you want, or finally get that career that you want. But keep going. Don't worry about all the other stuff. The stuff that's been going on, you're not missing out on nothing. Everything's still gonna be full circle. Just keep going. Believe in yourself. Take your time. Really go through the motions. You're gonna have days where you upset, mad, angry. Then you gonna have them days where you feel like Wonder Woman or Superman, and it's okay. Just take it one step at a time. Because you trying to take little shortcuts and trying to skip steps, like, it ain't gonna work. It's just not. But I don't want to make the video too long. If you new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you already a part of the family, make sure you share, like, and comment. And I'm gonna get up with y'all on the next YouTube video. I love y'all, and make sure y'all keep grinding, and make sure y'all keep healing. And I will catch y'all on the next YouTube video. And I love y'all. Peace.